Throughout history, mankind's moral compass has been in continuous change and flux. The domination of any one ideology or theology causes a rise in fanatical proponents of others. Consider, if you will, the fanatic actions of Democrats and conservatives in the 2008 presidential campaign. More precisely, Ashley Todd, a McCain supporter, who carved a B into her face in attempts to frame Obama supporters as violent and aggressive. This deception came to light and did far more damage to Ashley Todd's own political affiliations than Obama's. There was obviously no 6-foot, 4-inch black attacker. This type of action is not limited to one political group, be it Republican, Democrat, or any other. Consider current Vice President Joe Biden's comment when asked about presidential-elect Obama. He said,
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African-American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice-looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
You'd think that any experienced politician, which Joe Biden is, would have the sense not to say something like that, regardless of how it was intended. To quote Friedrich Nietzsche, the most perfidious way of damaging a cause consists of defending it deliberately with faulty arguments. It is almost always someone's personal actions which destroy their political or personal standing, either amongst a circle of friends or to the world. Ironically, the opposite of this system, wherein two political parties have similar motivations or messages, seems to create an extreme sense of apathy amongst the populace. Consider, if you will, the Canadian 2008 election, wherein only 61% of Canadians gathered to vote. The majority of the rest were not abstaining out of protest, they just didn't care about the way their country was being run. And you can say one thing for the American election: it garnered interest, and it created a high voter turnout. Amongst my friends at university, I found that the vast majority of them were following more of the American election than the Canadian election, which would actually determine their country's future. Again, these are university students, and only a quarter of them are politically active or motivated. The rest just feel apathetic or indifferent, and let's face it, you don't find indifference without ignorance. And according to Statistics Canada, university students are 3 times more likely to be politically involved as any other age group. This apathy is due in large part to the ponderous nature of the Canadian government system, or the democratic government system, wherein hidebound bureaucrats slow down all the processes and make it very difficult for anybody who's actually in power, who has been voted in, to change the system in any way. This ponderous nature must be changed, and it has to start at the individual level. As Leo Tolstoy said, everybody thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. We need to change ourselves and the way we approach the political systems within our countries in order to create any sort of change. Be involved.